Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and on my right-hand side, poking around here somewhere, is my right-hand man, Gabriel. And today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have Boneyard, and they have a new album called Oathbreaker, released on August 20th via Wormhole Death Records. Right now, I'm being joined by Pamtera to share some more information about this stellar release, why they're breaking oaths, why there's a warning, fate's warning, why they're born again. So, Pamtera, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on, fellow Edmontonian, everybody.
Yay!
Yeah, audience cheer. And eventually I'd like to have an actual real show, like with a couch. And so this would be, something.
That would be cool. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
so much fun.
Yeah, and it's always funny because Wormhole Death is a label out of Italy, and I sit here in my little basement in Edmonton thinking I'm nobody, and then all of a sudden I get an email saying that another band in Edmonton is signed with this band in Italy, and then I'm finding out about you guys not through the Edmonton scene, but from a record label in Italy.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's kind of neat, eh?
Yeah. So take us through this record, Oathbreaker, and I guess we'll start, is there a theme to it? Is there a concept to it?
I don't think there's a theme or a concept. I think Oathbreaker just kind of came from the song. So I just thought it was just such a cool song, and just like a cool song name. And I was like, we should name the album Oathbreaker after the song. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it would be kind of a neat thing. Yeah.
Okay. Now, that song in particular, or was there a song that maybe set the tone for the record when you guys wrote it and thought, let's do it like this?
Yeah. So we had a whole bunch of material to record. And then I just always felt like Fate's Warning was kind of like a really good beginning, a really good start to it, and kind of setting the tone for the album. I don't think we had anything in particular, a theme or anything like that. I think all the songs are all just kind of different, and I just really like that they're all a little bit more diverse. Some, heavy, slow, different types of, and just to try and make it interesting and not sound all the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And then, because this album came out quasi-pandemic, I know how that's been going here in Edmonton. Have you guys been able to test this out on crowds at all, this album?
Yeah, so we did have our first, what happened with our CD is that when we went into the studio, we didn't have a guitar player. We were missing a guitar player. So we had a really good friend, Grant Terapaki, who actually performed on the album. And so we did release it in October. We released it ourselves as independent. And then Wormhole Death just kind of is going, re-released it just recently. So then we were looking for a guitar player. So it took a little bit of time to find the right person. Mm-hmm. And we found Gary Ursulak, and he joined in June. So then, we did a couple of festivals. We did the Shocker Fest, and we did Schwab Fest, which are outdoor festivals here around Edmonton. And we had our first CD release party. It was like almost 6 months later. So we had that at Shakers, and that was just a couple of weeks ago, and it turned out really awesome. A lot of people came down, and we sold, lots of CDs and stuff. So we're just really excited to keep playing. We're playing next weekend as well with Light in the Black over at the Rendezvous Pub. Mm-hmm. And just trying to get out. I think it's still kind of a tough time with COVID, and also Alberta being the way that we are, that, I'm hoping as we go along, things will open up and more people can come out to shows, and we can, shop, play it around a little bit more. I love playing live. So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And for those who are interested in the show schedule and upcoming shows, in today's show notes is the band's website, boneyardrocks.ca.
So check out our site.
Yep, and at boneyardrocks.ca you should have all the links necessary to keep in touch with the band and find out when they are playing their next show, which I'm sure is going to be hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, something you mentioned there was going into the studio without a guitar player. Take us through that. How did you guys write the songs? What did the songs sound like? What do the demos sound like? What's going on?
So we went in with some demos, and they were pretty horrible. And poor Cam McLeod was just like, I can't even hear this. Like, it was It was pretty. They were pretty rotten, basically. So I'm not going to lie there. We thought that we had our shit together, and we are going to go in there, and it was all going to go smoothly. But unfortunately, it didn't. So we had an idea of mostly of what the song sounded like. So Dennis, our bass player, who actually wrote quite a bit of the riffs and quite a bit of the songs, actually played rhythm guitar on it. As well as me. And so we did some changes. Some of the songs we have been playing live for a couple years, so they were okay, like some of the older ones. And then we changed some things up, and some magic happened in the studio. We had some magic stuff going on. So we changed some parts and added some things. And it was a long process because of COVID, and also because we didn't have a lead player. So it was good. We kind of ended up doing all the bed tracks. Everything was done except for leads. And then that's when we were looking for even just somebody to help us out to get the leads down. And we asked Grant. Grant used to play in a band with Jeff and I called Septimus years and years ago in Alberta. And so he was able to come on board, and he was amazing. He wrote amazing stuff for it. I'm so happy he did such a great job. So, but he just wasn't, we were bugging him constantly, join the band. But he just didn't feel like he was up to joining another band. So he was in another band at the time. So we just kept looking for somebody. And so it was a little bit difficult going through that way. And it was a learning experience. I don't think I'd ever do it again. Like, I think I'm going to have it together next time. Be like, let's have a nice demo that you can hear and you know what you're doing. Right.
Yeah. Well, one of my, devil's advocate questions, I guess, was going to be, why not wait until something came along further? But so much has happened as a result of you guys taking a gamble almost.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of the songs sound the way they do because of that. And I think there was a lot of tension, and there was a lot of learning. And I think that is actually ingrained into the Oathbreaker album. So I just feel like you can hear that. You can hear that tension, and you can hear that, so I just thought it was good. It added to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, make sure to do that again.
Yeah.
So that
right. Maybe not that way.
Get it baked into the next album. Now, the other thing you mentioned too was you guys are like, we're going to do it ourselves. We're going to release a CD. And then Wormhole came along. So did you guys shop out the CD?
Yeah. So actually, we did a lot of our own promotion. We actually, I think it was like a person from a radio station heard our stuff and said, hey, listen, I've been listening to your album, and I think you need to contact Wormhole. And so we're like, oh, okay. And so we just sent it along, and then they contacted us and said, listen, we really love the album. We know that you've released it, but we want to re-release it and have a small contract, and the contract's just for the Oathbreaker album. And then they helped us. The first two videos I did myself. During COVID, I learned about video making and all the editing software and all that fun stuff. I was like really excited to work on it. And then Wormhole Death helped with the Gone video, which they just released, which is a lyric video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then it's working out. You're happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the actual video was the re-release was October, and it was like the 20th, and our CD release was the 21st, so that's exciting. And they're actually we're redoing the album, and it's getting sent out. So the release date is November, I think it's the 19th, and then it's getting sent out to some like crazy awesome places like Europe and Japan, and they're going to send some out to the States and stuff like that, and just see what happens from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say redoing, you mean like you re-recorded it, remixed it?
No, they actually just repackaged it.
Oh, repackaged. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What else is there to chat about? Is there anything that you wanted to chat about in particular that you wanted us to know? I mean, maybe take us through the artwork.
So the artwork, which I totally love, was done by Tom Bagley. He's in Calgary from a band called Forbidden Dimension. And if you know Forbidden Dimension, do you? Do you know them, John?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, they he does all their posters and all their artwork, and he's just an amazing artist. And so we contacted him originally to do our logo of we call her Misty Bone. So we originally did, so she's our logo, and then we contacted him to do the album. We were like, hey, can you put Misty on a pile of bones pointing at you? And we kind of just gave him a little bit of direction, and he made an amazing album cover. I love the colors of it, and I think it really stands out. So yeah, really excited with that. So check out Forbidden Dimension and Tom Bagley, because he's got some, just like say, crazy artwork. So
yeah,
I wanted to mention that we've been working on an actual video, like a story video for the song Evil Ways.
Okay.
So we did all the shooting, and I'm just up to the editing portion right now, and so hoping that'll come out in the next couple of months, and depending on how much time I have to get her going, and but it was really fun, so we're excited for that. And we're also going to have a CD release in Calgary. I think it's going to be in November, and we've just I think it's the 27th. We're still locking down the dates and who else will be there. It's at Burns in Calgary.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, everybody wants to stay in touch. Once again, the website boneyardrocks.ca is available in today's show notes, as well as some links to some videos that I have. And at Pamtera, it sounds like there are even more that might be available by the time this airs. But I've got Born Again, Oathbreaker, Fate's Warning, and then it sounds like there's a couple more, actually, as well.
Those are the three that we have, and then I'm working on Evil Ways.
Evil Ways. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I guess one of my next questions is going into, the future, the next album, taking what the pandemic has brought. For example, you're learning software that probably you wouldn't have had to learn previously. Are you going to take some of that stuff into the next process, do you think?
Oh, I think so. I definitely loved making the videos. I had so much fun that way. I think we're definitely taking all the stuff that we learned from recording last time and using it for writing songs. And we've been writing songs. We have so many on the back burner. It's just like we're trying to still do Oathbreaker at this time and then write songs at the same time. So we're slowly, getting the songs down, but we're super excited to record again and get new stuff out. And so, because we've been working on it, since I think May of 2019 is when we went in the studio. Mm-hmm. So we've been working on these songs, and we're like, let's write some new stuff. So we're excited for that.
Yeah. Anything you can say about the new material just yet?
Well, we have a new guitar player, Gary Ursulak, so I'm really excited. I think it's going to go even further. I just hope it's better. That's all I can hope for, is that as we go along, that our songs improve and that they get better. So, and I think they will. I'm really excited for the future, and I hope COVID could just, and that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. It would be great.
Yeah. So poor musicians, and it's just that time.
Yes. A lot of things we could say about Alberta with regard to that particular situation.
Yeah.
Cool. So far we've chatted about recording in the studio quasi without a guitar player, and then bringing someone in and looking for a guitar player, and then signing to Wormhole Death. Actually, that's a really interesting question. Was it easier to look for a guitar player when you had a record on a record contract? Did that change?
So Gary came in just before that.
Okay.
So we actually were like, hey, I know you just joined the band, but we got this record deal, so we had to have a conversation with him if he was he had to be in that decision, if we wanted to sign or not, because I think he came in a week or two before we got the offer. So it was right around the same time. So,
okay.
So I don't know if it would have been easier. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Did it make it harder then? I know I've been in that position myself, where I've been in bands years ago where in the middle of negotiating a contract, somebody splits because they realize that they're not that serious, and then we're looking for somebody, and that's almost like a boiling point for a lot of people. They're not just joining a band anymore. there's an actual interest from a contract.
You know? I think it's a small label, so I don't think it was it's kind of you're kind of taking a gamble or buying a lottery ticket with everything nowadays, right? Yeah. So I think Gary was all in for it, so I think it was okay. I think maybe it might have sweetened the pot a little bit. We're like, hey, join us.
Come now, join us. Cool. And then just based on the artwork, I think a comic book would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. So for sure. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I don't know if he does animation or just illustration.
I think Tom does just illustration. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Killer artwork, though.
Yeah, like it'd be so cool to have an illustrated like video or something, man. But, I had to win the lottery for that.
Yes, of course. And being from Edmonton, somebody just won $2 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope it was me. Go check my ticket.
Exactly, yeah. And it was one of those stories, again, where the guy's like, I rarely ever buy tickets. Oh, yeah, I got this ticket. I should probably check it. $2 million later.
Yeah, right?
Beautiful. All right. So, team, everybody out there, Rock Metal Podcast, Rock Metal Nation, in today's show notes, boneyardrocks.ca, the album Oathbreaker, out now via Wormhole Death Records, available everywhere you consume music, as well as a few shows and parties that are coming up as the world starts to reopen a little bit, which you can stay in touch with at boneyardrocks.ca. Pamtera, that concludes all of my questions. It was great having you on.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah. Absolutely. The whole band was here in spirit.
Yes. You are at a rehearsal spot, so.
I see symbols.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.